Yo, what's happening? We really need to take care of ourselves, man. We really need to take care of our brains, take care of our hearts, take care of our bodies. We go through a lot of stress, especially when we become adults. There's a lot of financial stress, emotional stress, things induced by the environment, things induced by work, things induced by relationships, family, friends, social media, just what you think that people in the world expect of you becomes sometimes cumbersome and burdensome on one. And I think we forget to take the step to just stand back. We forget this. What did I just say? We forget to take the chance to just stand back and reflect and think about what we want. Think about what we wanted as kids. Think about how that has evolved through the years and where we are now. And then think about what matters to you at this point. Because again, as you grow, you evolve, you mature, you get exposed to more different things, more different environments. And I don't know what I'm talking about, but I believe that this breeds in you somewhat of a different person. You remain the person you are, yes, but you evolve in that you grow and your skin grows and your mind grows and the neurons start to fire differently as you experience different things and they touch you and they make you feel different things. You start to become what you are because as you're younger there's less experiences and less information that you have to become what you are now. But then the more you grow, the more you learn this stuff, the more you experience, the more you understand, the more you get confused first, but then the more you think about it and the more you actually take yourself out of yourself, the more you get to start to understand who you are, what you want, and perhaps where you're going. And I think it's very important that we try to look into that and try to understand who we are and where we're going. We live in a very confusing time when information moves so quickly. And because of that speed of information, we find ourselves feeling stuck. We may feel stuck because we look at the number of people who perhaps maybe our ages or maybe come from where we come from or maybe we aspire to or whatever, and we look at that and we look at ourselves and maybe we don't feel happy, we don't feel we're doing enough, we might not feel like we're living up to our purpose. Gonna go with purpose. So it becomes a very confusing thing, and sometimes you become a person and it's a great person, it's a lovely person, but you find that that person isn't who you are. That person isn't what you hope to be, what you love to be. I mean, a simple example of this is the number of people any of us probably know about who maybe have gone on to be married, have gone on to be famous, have gone on to do all types of things, and only to realize that actually, I don't want to be in this. Actually, maybe you're married to a female person and you're a man, and then you realize actually I'm into guys. Maybe you didn't just realize it now, you realized it a long time ago, but you were not able to be true to yourself because of the colors that society paints. And you're not able to have your own clear canvas and be able to paint your own colors. You have to follow a certain norm, conform to certain ideologies and certain ways and cultures in which things are done. And then you find yourself at a point of liberation where you feel like, I don't have to be doing these things that I've believed that I had to be doing since I was a kid. But at this point, now that I've gone this far, and I've entangled myself in everything I've entangled myself in, but now I see my path, I see the vision, I see my future in a different path. What do I do? And I think for those who have not yet entangled themselves in certain things, I think it is very necessary and advisable that You take some time to reflect, take some time to think, is this really what I want? Is this something that I really can sustain? And yes, I understand it's not always an easy decision to make. In fact, it's almost never an easy decision to make, because the way that the construct of an economy and the construct of finances is set up is such that one is not able to necessarily make a decision based on the merits of that decision by itself without its connection to the financial side of things. So you cannot just decide to do something just because you love it and it makes you feel good. It has to also be able to sustain you financially so that you can be able to, at the very least, survive. And I think now, at a higher step than that, is for it to also give you a certain type of life that, again, is, forms part of this economical construct of um, capitalism and all that stuff. But that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm just trying to illustrate the difficulty of freeing yourself of the shackles of society, the shackles of what the world thinks that we should be, the trajectories that the world sort of enforces on us. And it's a bit of a double-edged sword, because it's not like someone directly tells you what it is that you should do, what path it is that you should take. It's just certain people living a certain way, leading certain lives, that you then feel, this is what I need to do if I am to be happy. This is what I need to do if I am to live or lead a fruitful life. And you might find that it's not necessarily true. But unfortunately, the construct of life in this day and age is such that decisions cannot or may not, in most cases, stand by themselves. They may not be deeply rooted in their pure meaning and their pure purpose. Instead, they have to be somehow linked to a financial reward. And that does take away from a lot of things. And I understand that. And I'm not saying that you should stop giving a hoot about it or anything. I'm just saying that, if at all possible, if in any way, any shape or form, it is possible for you to untangle yourself from those shackles and be free and be liberated and be able to live the life that you envision yourself living, then by all means do that. And if that is very difficult, find some time, find some space within there to make peace with the life that you have to live, that you maybe have didn't really choose out of your own will, but have to now live out. Try to find some way to make peace with it. But most importantly, find a way to take care of your mind. Find a way to take care of your heart. Find a way to take care of your emotions, because at the end of the day, once everything is said and done, once everything else is gone, once everything is stripped away, that is what we all remain with. And if that in of itself is damaged and destroyed, then you're pretty much a living carcass, and you're not able to experience life and experience people and experience your surroundings in a fruitful and fully present way. And we see this a lot in society, where people end up just throwing in the towel. People end up just giving up, because there's so much assumed expectation that society expects us to be this. People expect us to be this. My mother wants me to be this. My dad, my aunts, my kids, my fans, whatever the case may be. My subordinates, I'm the manager of a company, I'm the CEO. My subordinates expect me to, hold up this certain image. They expect me to know all the answers. They expect me to so this and this and that. And we forget to take over ourselves. But wait, what do I expect of me? What do I want of me? What is it that I looked up to myself? Well, not up to myself, but what is it that I looked up to and hoped to become when I was a kid? And how far am I from that? What changes, what steps do I need to take to try and go in that direction. And maybe the path you're on is the path you need to be in. That is great. That is amazing. I applaud that. I am happy that some people are able to be in those situations. And I don't know what I'm talking about, but I really feel like the world we live in today, more especially, and of course, I don't know what the world was back then. I don't know what world it was that people lived in back then. I don't have first-hand experience, obviously. I don't have people who have explained to me how life was. And if you look at it, if you think about it, a lot of people don't really get to talk about their mental state and the way that they feel and the way that they felt about stuff. It's mainly, if people are going to tell you about how things were back in the day, people are you mostly going to tell you about this is how we did things. And again, maybe I haven't really done the research. Maybe I haven't really asked those questions. But I don't think we ever get to hear people, and maybe we don't even give them a chance, whether it be our grandmothers, grandfathers, all those people. We hardly ever get to hear them tell us what they felt, what they wanted, and whether or not they were able to live it. And now that they're in this stage of their lives, what do they feel about the life that they've led? What do they feel about where they've gone in life? What is important, not just for survival, but for mental well-being? And perhaps this is I'm saying this in a society that does not particularly understand what mental well-being is, because these are, I don't want to say constructs, but these are natures that in some societies aren't quite studied, aren't quite looked at, they aren't quite considered. So we end up finding ourselves stuck in paths that we believe to be important, that we believe that we need to follow this path, we need to go this way, without actually looking at the ocean of possibilities that stands before you, or that might stand before you. And again, I understand perhaps the naivety or the hypocrisy of me being able to say this, and perhaps I say this from a point of privilege. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who probably don't have the privilege to make certain decisions, to take certain steps. And I get that and understand that. But there's really a lot of people who are in a similar or even in a better position than I am in. And to those people, I'm saying, take some time, think about it, think about yourself, think about what you want. Go out, take a walk in nature, just look at what's happening out there, just educate yourself. Another thing that we neglect to do so much, and it's I understand it's boring, I understand it's tedious to sit down and read a book, sit down and watch something educational, sit down and learn something. It is very tedious, but at a certain point we need to take some time to grow ourselves mentally, grow yourself educationally. Education is not limited to what you get in school. In fact, what you get in school is but a very small portion of a vast expanse of knowledge and education. So we just need to take some time, figure out what we like, figure out what we're trying to do, figure out if we are even capable of learning and understanding, and learn how to learn. Teach yourself how to teach yourself. Become mentally aware, so that whenever you run into situations where maybe stress is starting to kick in, or some psychological issues are coming up, you're able to recognize them. And you're now better equipped to say, oh, wait, oh, hold on. I think this is now starting to affect me negatively. How do I now pull myself back? But now you have the knowledge in you that can help you through this. And that's why I say, take care of yourself. Just attaining knowledge is not just about you attaining knowledge and becoming smart or whatever. Big part of it goes into you being able to take care of yourself, because you understanding the world better. You gaining knowledge is you understanding the world better, and you understanding the world better is you understanding yourself better. And that means you can take better care of yourself. You can do better exercises that better suit your personality, that better suit your lifestyle, that better suit who you are and what you want to achieve. But if you don't give yourself that knowledge, if you're just going to be constantly watching short form content, funny stuff, things that really don't add any value to your life, where are you going to be in 20 years? Where are you going to be in 50 years? And I don't have the answers either. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I just think that we should take the time to take care of ourselves. We should really put more importance on what we are, who we are, and where we're going. I'll close off this way with this. Your body, your brain, your heart, stuff you have inside of you. And yes, there's transplants and all of that, but essentially the stuff that you have inside of you, the stuff that make up what you are and everything that you are, is the only set that you will ever get for the rest of your life. Again, yes, there's transplants and all those sort of things. But given that there's a risk in these transplants, and given that you already have your own that was given to you by whatever creator you believe in, do you not think it is, at the very least, your responsibility to take care of each and every part, each and every cell in your body, by ensuring that mentally you're in a good space, emotionally you're in a good space, physically you're in a good state, you exercise, this body that you have, these lungs, the brain, the blood cells, the blood vessels, blood cells. Well, I guess you have blood vessels, but the blood vessels and arteries and everything that you have inside of you. If you could just take care of that, very good. I think it just allows us to live a longer, happier, and perhaps more fruitful life. And I might be wrong. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I feel better taking care of myself than not taking care of myself. So I please applaud you. I please plead with you. There's a word. Please just take care of yourself.